Good morning, guys. I trust you're all well. Welcome to Kevin's Kitchen. Today we are going to do some much needed knife sharpening, and I thought we would test out the Cerax 320 brick and the Cerax 1000. These are Japanese synthetic soaking stones, and they are purported to be some of the finest stones in the world. Let's find out for ourselves, shall we? Okay, I got a few kitchen knives I need to sharpen here. They're pretty dull, so we're going to start with the 320. This is really aggressive. It's always fun to unbox these Japanese products. They're packaged so well. They take the care of, like Apple, to package their products. It's a cleaning stone. Wow, this thing is massive. Directions, I don't think we're gonna need those. Oh, they give you a little rubber stand, which I'm not a fan of. And then, man, look at the bevels on that corner. All right, okay, it's only been about 5 minutes. I'm a bit impatient to get started, which is why I prefer splash and go stones, but people have raved about these stones so much that I wanted to give them a try. So there, it seems nice and wet. We'll give it a little splash of water and get started. This is a cheap Japanese chef knife. Cheap because it's stainless steel. Most Japanese knives are not, but I just won't tolerate anything but stainless steel in the kitchen. So let's give it a go. I'm just sharpening the secondary bevel here. First few strokes. Feels like it's cutting very quickly. The response is there that you expect in splash and go stones, or I'm sorry, soaking stones. Honestly, really the response, which is being able to feel what the stone is doing on the edge of the knife through tactile senses. The finer stones just excel ever so slightly in that area. They just have a better feel to it. It's cutting very fast. It has a very aggressive, gritty feel to it, but gritty in a smooth, silky way, if that makes any sense. It will to you, Japanese stone sharpening gurus, which I am not. This is one issue I've noticed with the brick, the green brick of joy as well. Because it's so top heavy, it does want to wobble a bit no matter how much you tighten it down. And given that you're never going to use all this material in your lifetime, I would probably just suggest getting the normal sized one. Okay, it's definitely a very gritty stone, super soft. It's developing a nice slurry if that's your thing. Maybe a little bit too soft though. Down here where I pull the tip of my knife towards me, it's already developing some fairly deep grooves. And that's not an issue in the long run because there's so much stone here, I can flatten it. But if you don't want to waste your time doing that, this might not be the stone for you. I don't have that issue, I should say, with the Sharpening glass 320 or whatever it is, the cross to this one. But we've apexed our edge on that side. Let's switch over to the other side and see how it goes. If you're new here or you're just wandering in, this is not meant to be a how-to video. I have one of those. I'll link it in the description below. But please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the bell notification so that you are aware of when I post videos. I try to post at least once a week or in that relative time frame. I switch hands. You could, of course, do push strokes away from you, but I just prefer to switch hands. I sometimes do push and pull strokes like this, but oftentimes on shallow belly knives like this, I just try to keep one full stroke. Cutting strokes here. Just to knock down that burr. We're moving on to the 1000. This is a bit of a jump between the 320 and a 1000. I'm sure it can handle it. I'll just have to spend a little more time on this stone. Oh, that feels much different. You can hear the difference, I'm sure. Much harder surface, not nearly as much slurry. This feels much more like the Sharpening glass stones that I'm used to. It does feel at the moment to have more polish in it than the Sharpening glass. The Sharpening glass stones, even at their 1000, are a bit more, I keep using the word gritty, chalky. They have more of a satiny finish to them, whereas this, I can tell you already, is going to have more polish in it. It just feels like it. Sounds like it too. Ooh, that's getting scary sharp already. And I've got the burr all the way from the tip to the heel. Time to move to the other side. How about a little sharpening porn, eh? All right, guys, now that I'm all cleaned up, what do I think about these stones? Well, first, let me point out that I'm really comparing them to the Sharpening glass series, which is a splash and go stone. I prefer splash and go stones simply because I don't have a lot of time. And when I want to sharpen knives, I don't want to have to think ahead 30, 40 minutes to soak a stone. Now, these turned out to be soaking stones. They really only require 5, maybe 10 minutes max to soak up as much water as they need so that you can use them like splash and go stones. So that's a plus. As for the 320 Cerax stone, it is really soft, which means it cuts really fast, which is a plus, but it builds up a lot of slurry in a hurry. And that's messy. And I'm not one that thinks the slurry makes it cut any faster. So I would rather not have to deal with that, quite frankly. Also, because it's so soft, it marks up really easy or scars. And that's going to require you to give a scrub in between knives at the very least. And you're going to have to clean it after each use. You're going to have to flatten this stone a lot more, which means you're going to be wearing out your stone pretty quickly. That said, I wouldn't recommend the brick. I just don't think you need that much material if you're just a recreational user, so to speak, like myself. So I would give that stone like a B-, I guess. We'll put that one to the side. Now the Cerax 1000 stone had a much more enjoyable tactile response to it. But that's kind of what you expect in these higher quality Japanese stones anyway. It's hard for me to describe to a novice what I mean when I'm talking about tactile response. Though there was one time on the little paring knife where it had a kind of squeaky, slidey, slippery, hard ceramic feel to it, which I didn't like. The other knives didn't seem to have that. Not too fond of that squeaking that you get every once in a while. I'd rather do without that. It cuts super fast. It removed those scratches from the 320 very quickly and left you with a polish that I felt was a little higher than the Sharpen 1000. It had still a satiny finish, but it was closer to like a 1500 polish. So yeah, no real complaints with that stone. It does build up a slurry more quickly than the Sharpen 1000, but I didn't mind that. I would give that stone a rating of like A-. So I would recommend that stone if you're looking for a true soaking stone. And some folks are, they just have been led to believe, whether it's true or not, I'm not willing to say, but they've been led to believe that a soaking stone gives you a feel and a finish unlike anything you can achieve with a splash and go stone, because splash and go stones by nature have to be non-porous. They're so hard, like quartz almost. Even though they have a soft feel to them, they're not porous because they can't take on water. And they tend not to be very thick stones either because of that. I can't say I've experienced that. So just keep in mind and take it with a grain of salt that I'm comparing all this to the splash and go stones. I have other soaking stones, I have used them. I have low budget stones, and these definitely are not comparable to low budget stones. They have, you know, it's a diminishing return, of course, 15% better, 50% more expensive. That's how it goes. I enjoyed these stones. I will enjoy using them again, but I'm probably going to pick up the Sharpen glass stones before these. It's just the way it is. Well, guys, with all that said, take it any way you like. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Hit that thumbs up. Please comment in the doobly-doo below. Until the next time, stay safe, get out there, enjoy the woods. See you on the next one.